tutorial on how to turn yourself into a zombie in Photoshop. Let's get started. Alright, first we need a model. I'm going to use Gal Gadot, who we all know is Wonder Woman. So I'm just going to my internet browser, searching face close-ups. Then I find Wonder Woman. There she is. And I can just drag her down to the bottom of Photoshop, opening up Photoshop, and then letting go in Photoshop to copy and paste her in there. Alright, so to turn myself into a zombie, first thing I want to look for is some good zombie mask or faces. So I find this one. I like this one. I'm going to view it closer. It's got some detail. His face is similar to hers in positioning, so again, I'm just going to drag and paste that one right into Photoshop on top of her. Alright, so now I just need to transform my image to resize it, so I'm using Control-T. To make it smaller, I'm using the Match Blend tool to remove the white space in there. It's not really necessary because I'm going to mask it, but I felt like it helped. Alright, so I'm just going to use the erase tool to erase his neck parts that I don't really need. Control-T and again to transform him. So now I'm going to try to place him over her as best I can. So I'm making him bigger. If I change the opacity, I can kind of line up the eyes. That's what my starting point is. So I'm making him bigger, giving him a little twist there, and trying to match up the eyes the best I can. Alright, so now just click the check mark to save that transformation, bring the opacity back up. It looks like it's in the right spot. So then I'm going to make a layer mask, and then with this mask, I'm going to click my brush tool and use black. When you use black on the mask, what it's going to do is hide parts of that layer. So it's going to hide parts of the zombie. So right now, I'm hiding the eyes, so I'm showing her eyes. Then I'm going to hide the part of his face that's covering her lips, so I see her lips. That'll help me visualize what's going on a little bit better. It's also got some extra lines down there that I thought needed to be taken out. Alright, so I'm increasing my brush size using the brackets, and then I'm just deleting all the other parts of the zombie that I don't need. And when I say delete, what I really mean is I'm painting black over that mask. And if you look over there where my layer mask is, you can see more and more black coming through because I'm painting black, hiding parts of this layer. Alright, hiding her nostrils, hiding some. I'm just going to take all this nose, let her whole nose come through, because I still want it to look like her. So as you can see, you know, her skin is messed up, but her face is pretty there, and she likes it. Alright, and then I can switch to white by just pressing X. That switches my background and foreground colors, and I'll use the white to reveal anything that I hid that I didn't want to. So as you see, I'm going around the inside of her face, so any parts of the zombie part that I covered up, revealing again. This part, it's going to take a lot of fine tuning, depending on how exact you want to be. So again, I push X to switch to the black to hide the outside. Push X again to redo the inside. Alright, in the background I kind of did some more playing with brushes just to accentuate her skin, so you saw it was a little darker on some parts. Alright, so moving forward, I'm going to be dealing with her mouth. So I'm finding a Halloween mouth that I like. This one that's all sewn up. And then again, I'm just copying and pasting that onto it, putting that layer on top. Then I'll resize and then basically put this over her mouth and do the exact same thing we did with the face in general. Just getting the mouth in the right position, turning it, stretching it however we need to. And then we're going to make another layer mask and hide the parts of the mouth that we don't need. So again, I just made that layer mask, and then I used my black brush on that mask to hide these outside parts of the face in the background. So it's starting to look okay. Needs to be repositioned, maybe a little bit bigger, so I'm stretching it. Nudging it around with my arrow keys. And now I'm just going to do a little bit more fine tuning. And as you can see, this mouth has a little bit more color saturation than the face that we're working with, so I'm going to have to do some editing on the colors there to make them match up a little bit better. Alright, so I'm going to go to image, go to adjustments, hue and saturation, and then that lets me adjust my colors as I need to. So I'm taking the saturation down. As you can see, it kind of washes out the color, gives it that more dead, cold, grayish look. And then if I want to mess with the actual tinting of it with the hue, I can do that. If maybe it needs to be brighter or darker. I think it's about good where it was at though. But right now it matches up a little bit better than it did before. Alright, so I'm just going to try to do a little bit more fine tuning. Again, you can be as detail oriented as you want to be. I mean, you can zoom all the way in down to the pixel to really make it blend in. I don't have that much time, but I'll try my best to make it look as good as possible without wasting too much time. Alright, also going back to that first mask and just letting her eyebrows come through. I forgot about those. Alright, so now the next part, we're going to look for some zombie eyes. So I searched Google for cloudy eyes, found one, dragged that in there, the exact same way we did the face, the exact same way we did the mouth, and now I'm just going to position that over her eye, take down that opacity. We can zoom in a little bit better. So now we just need to get this eye in position. And again, doing the exact same thing, making a layer mask. We're gonna position it and then hide the parts of that cloudy eye that we don't need. So we just want what's inside the eyelids, the actual eyeball. We don't want any of the extra. Once we do that, this eye starts to look a lot more like hers. Alright, so what I just did is use Control J to duplicate that layer, and then I'm just dragging that layer that was right on top of it that I just duplicated and putting it over the other eye. Then I just turned it upside down just so it didn't look like it was a copy of the other eye. It looks different. It changes the reflection. This looks a little more realistic by doing that. And then we do the exact same thing by hiding the parts we don't want. And first I'm revealing to see if there's anything that I do want on the inside, and then anything on the outside, again, I'm removing. Alright, and now that's that. She's looking pretty good. You can still kind of tell who it is, but it's definitely a zombie. Alright, so I think what we'll do now is make a new layer, and then on this new layer, I'm going to add some shadow, just to give her face a little more contrast. So I'm setting the blend mode to soft light, and on this new layer that's on top, I'm using this black brush. As you can see, this is what the face looks like before. It has a little bit of shadow on it, so I'm going to try to mimic that shadow. So on this new layer that's on top, I'm just going to get my black brush, and let's start painting in some shadow. And you can see that I hid the other layer, the actual mask part, so I can see this one better, so I can see exactly where the shadows are. So it won't be exact, but it'll be a little bit better. So I got that dark shadow. And then for the lighter shadows, what I'm going to do is go up to the top, and where you see the opacity of the brush, I'm going to turn that down a little bit, and then start brushing into more. So we have 75% shadow, so it's not as dark here. And then on that other side, you see that it's still shadows, but it's lighter. So I turned that one down to about 50% opacity, and then I'm going to make those shadows over there too. We got on her eye, this little cheekbone. Alright, that seems pretty cool. So now we're going to turn on that mask layer again, and you see it's a little bit darker, has a little more contrast. Maybe too much, but we can tell the difference. I'll turn that opacity down just a little bit. Just to see if I like it at a different level. There we go, that works. Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. She is zombified. If you want to fine tune, I'm going to fine tune a little bit more. We still have this nose that's completely hers, so I'm going to try to put in a little bit more of that mask over top of it. I'm going back to that mask and using my X or changing it to black, white, doing whatever I need to do, make it look how I want it to look. And then done. Voila. Finished product. Hope you enjoyed.